Hello everyone and welcome back to my Dark Souls 3 walkthrough. In this episode we are tackling on Profaned Capital and we are also going to finish Irithyll dungeon. Right, so first things first, we are greeted by this gargoyle. So let's be careful and let's take it out. Alright, there we go. Now let's cross the bridge. And over here we can find a ladder to slide down, but we can also safely drop on these, I guess, fallen parts of the building. And when we get over here we want to climb this ladder first, as it gives access to a bonfire. And beside the bonfire we also find an undead bone shard alongside a stretch out gesture. Now over here is how we can get to the boss, but first I am going to explore a side area which is accessible through falling down here. Now this area is full of toxins, so similarly to how I dealt with Firelink, I am also going to switch my equipment to a combination that's very good against poison, offers high poison resistance. That is a Brigand Hood, Drang Armor, Drang Gauntlets, and Brigand Trousers. Aside from that, I don't believe I'm going to need the torch anymore, and I would like to switch to a lighter shield so that I'm not above the threshold. So when we approach this area we are greeted by another gargoyle. This time it's with a hammer instead of a spear. After taking it out, I actually got a gargoyle flame hammer, so it's weapon. That's nice. Anyway, I'm also going to switch from the Lloyd's sword ring to poison bite ring to increase my resistance to poison further. Now in front of us there is a crystal lizard, but there's also a hole which we do not want to fall into. So let me instead go this way, which has another crystal lizard. And now we can deal with this crystal lizard as well. Oops. There we go. Now down here are more of these enemies, which unfortunately I will need to go and explore that area. But before that there is an item over here. It's a rusted gold coin, and here is another hole that we would fall through if we weren't careful. Right, I'm also going to switch from Slumbering Dragon Crest ring to Silver Cat ring, as there is a drop ahead of us. And at the end of this pathway made from planks we get a blooming purple moss clump, which is a more powerful version of purple moss clump. It clears not only poison but also toxins, which this area is full of, unfortunately. So first off, let me drop attack this enemy, and then let me clear out this enemy as well. Over here we get a purging stone. Now I am also going to switch back to Lloyd's sword ring, and I will get ready to run through some toxins. Right, so firstly I would like to deal with these enemies. Then I want to go to this patch of land and defeat this enemy. And I also want to wait for my toxin build-up to go down. And in the meantime I'm going to activate the health restoration just to get my Lloyd's sword ring active again. Now in there, and that is by the way the area where we would fall if we weren't careful in the previous building, there are 2 items to be picked up, and I will try to pick up both of them without taking too much damage from toxins. Right, let's grab the Grasscrest shield for increased stamina regeneration. And there is a party in here, unfortunately. Right, so the first item is over here, it's a poison gem. Now aside from that, the other item is all the way out here. And it's a curse bite ring, which as the name might tip you off, it is similarly to blood bite and poison bite. It increases the resistance to curse status effect. Now once again I'm going to wait on this patch of land, activate the regeneration, and wait for my toxins build up to go down. Now the way out of this area is up this ladder, but there is another section of the building down here which I will head to first. Alright, there we go. Grab the Grasscrest shield once again, and let's go deal with the enemy in here. And get up here, up those stairs, and there's a door we can open. And in here we have some ugly enemies. Like, I mean, really, really ugly. It's a face that not even their mother would love. If it's a face at all, which I don't think it is. Now what this enemy was trying to do 3 times in a row now is a grab attack, which deals a very, very high damage. And speaking of dealing damage, I'm hardly dealing any, even with such a powerful sword. And the enemy got me, unfortunately, with the grab attack. I can only hope that I survive it, which I somehow did. Right, I want to stay near the entrance of this area because I don't want to wake up the other enemies. Dealing with one of these guys at a time is challenging enough. Do not slap me, sir. And I do not want to be in toxins while fighting you. And alright, finally, after defeating this enemy, we get its guaranteed drop, Eleonora, which is an axe type weapon, and we also get some of its poop. Now over here there is another item to be picked up, and this one is a shriving stone, and I unfortunately became toxic. I was a bit too greedy, so I have to, well, not have to, but I choose to use another blooming purple moss clump to reduce the damage, or to stop the toxins from draining my health. Now, in here are two more of these guys, and as you might imagine, if we rush to pick up that item, both of them are going to wake up, and it's a better idea to grab them by surprise. So let me initiate with charged attacks. And unfortunately, since both of them are up, I will need to lure them, and that is not what I wanted to happen. What's worse than that is that the toxins were building up during the animation of the grab attack. So now I don't really have a way to counter the toxins if I get toxic again. Let me lure them to this ladder. It's fine. Right, and I can perform a drop attack by pressing B to let go of the ladder. Which may not have been the greatest idea. Right, let me try the ladder strategy once more, as the plunging attack seems to have done some significant damage, like all 6 points of damage to these guys. Now I'm not sure if they can climb up this ledge by themselves. Right, I appear to be somewhat safe here. Okay, now that I fell over here, I am no longer safe. Let me go to another patch of land. And let me try to get back to the ladder. Alright, this is a wee bit scary, I must admit. These guys are very resistant to my damage, which is annoying. But with enough persistence, I believe I can take them out. Of course, you don't have to fight them. If you want the axe, you can only defeat one of them. Then you can rush to get the item and just get out of there as fast as you can. You don't actually need to kill those enemies. You don't get any bonus items for defeating them. And fighting them is very annoying. They're like mini bosses, I guess. At least that's what their power level would imply. Now this guy dropped some poop, the other guy also dropped some poop. And let me return to the building to pick up the item. Luckily, thanks to my poison bite ring and the brigand and drank armor combination, I can do that without becoming toxic. And the item over here is 3 purging stones. Now, purging stones normally are rather useless, but they can be used if you follow the complex quest line I've been mentioning. Right, now moving on, let's go back to the ladder and let's climb it. Right, so what have we got up here? Well, we have another one of these enemies in here. but up here we have an NPC who is unfortunately hostile. So we need to defeat him, I guess. And after doing so, we get Logan's Scroll, which is the third one we can give to Orbeck. Now over here on this roof we also find a set of 18 poison arrows. And aside from that, we can also jump from this roof to the window over here. I'm actually going to switch back to Silver Catherine temporarily to not take any damage in case I fail the jump. And there we go, got it. And this is how we get to Sigvard's cell.
My liberation requires a key. But the key is outside. Riddle for the ages.
Well, I got the key. Hey man.
Ah, you are a saint. Once again you are my valiant savior. I, Sigvard of Katarina, express my deepest gratitude. Take this, a token of my thanks. Go on, it's all yours.
So, as a reward for freeing Sigvard, we get a Titanite slab, which is an item necessary to upgrade any weapon to the maximum level.
Ah, no, please. Go on ahead. I've my own road to take, and a duty to fulfill. That is so.
Right, aside from Sigvard, we also find covetous gold serpent ring in his cell. And let's now go up these stairs, as there is another area and another item we can pick up. Now this area connects back to Irithyll dungeon, and in here are two invisible enemies. And it's best to take them out right away. And at the end of this, I guess, corridor, we find a jailer's key ring, which is the last key we need. Now this area is where the giant and the rats were. So that's another way these two areas connect with each other. And now, after returning here, I am going to actually put back on the Lloyd's sword ring for a bit of extra damage. And in here is where we find a Wrath of the Gods miracle, which is another damaging miracle. And we can also get the drop on this guy. Right, I will try to stay behind him, but I need to keep in mind that he can sit to deal some damage like that. Right. So this enemy is of the kind that is more dangerous when approached from the front. So I want to stick to its back without sticking to its butt, which is so wide that it deals significant damage. Right, and one more hit should do it. There we go. And as you might guess, this guy also drops some aromatic projectiles. Aside from that, we also find Court Sorcerer set, which is the one that the NPC up on that roof was wearing, and find another chest that once again is not actually a chest. So another fight. at the end of which we get a court sorcerer's staff, which funnily enough is also the staff that the NPC was using. Now in this room there is nothing, literally nothing. We also find some rubbish in here, and this is where we can drop back to where we first dropped to get to the side area. Now the way to go back is up this ladder, which is also where we find a couple rusted coins. Now before I go to the bonfire, I'm going to return to the big room in the Irithyll dungeon, as I finally got the jailer's key ring necessary to free the NPC that was being held prisoner in there. And since I didn't rest at a bonfire and I didn't die, all of those jailers patrolling the room are dead, so I don't have to worry about clearing them out anymore. I can just head to the cell and free the NPC. Your savior is here. Rejoice.
Oh, there you are. I thought you'd all but forgotten me. How sweet. Good to know that a skinny little heretic can still turn heads.
I'm here to save you.
Hmm? Oh, you're not one of them, are you? Accept my apologies for mistaking you for one of those leeches. So, what business have you here? This is a land of monstrosities, and I am no exception.
Don't think so low of yourself. I'm here to help.
You're here to save me. But I'm guilty. A wretched child of the abyss. Is that something you can forgive?
I said I'm here to save you.
Oh, really? You are no ordinary woman. Very well. Besides, I've grown tired of imprisonment. I am Karla, and I accept your proposal.
Alright, another NPC to be found at the shrine. Now let me return to the bonfire of the Profaned capital, and I shall rest there. So, once again, up this ladder. And finally, I shall sit at the bonfire. Right, I've used up all of the blooming purple moss clumps, so I can unequip them. And since I will no longer deal with the poisonous area, I am going to switch back to Drank armor, and I'm going to keep the silver cat ring, as there are quite a few drops I might take damage from in here. So, when you go down this ladder, the enemies in there will start throwing fireballs at you, so you need to keep it in mind while you dodge this gargoyle's attacks as well. Gargoyle? Come on. Come on, let's dance over here, okay? Let's dance over here, where it's safer than on the bridge. Right, there we go. Oh, over here we find a large soul of a weary warrior. And in here we find some more enemies. So let me quietly approach them. And execute a charged attack. There we go. Now these enemies are similar to jailers, but are not exactly jailers. So let's take them out nonetheless, and here we find another gargoyle to deal with. So let me once again approach quietly from behind and start off with a charged attack to deal some nice damage, and my surprise attack paid off. Alright, now I'm going to come back to these guys as well, but first I want to explore this area. So let me take out this enemy first, and then I shall take care of this gargoyle. While being also attacked by these enemies. So that's something to consider. Alright, these guys are down, and now it's time to finish off the gargoyle. There we go, gargoyle is down, and let's clear out the rest of this area. So we got 4 more of these guys. And we also got 2 chests, which, surprise surprise, are not actually chests. So let's deal with them. There we go, that's one of them out of the way. We get a couple rusted gold coins. Now let's take out the other one. Not get eaten in the process, and this mimic drops a great shield of glory. Now over here in this corner we find another chest that, surprise surprise, actually is a chest and is actually safe to open and loot. It contains an ember. Right, now let's deal with these enemies that were shooting at us. There we go, that's one of them. That's the second one. A third one. And the fourth. Right, now that these guys are out of the way, we can go back onto the bridge and loot the items available there. In the meantime, I'm also going to activate the health regeneration, just for good measure. So on this bridge we find 8 Oni Slayer great arrows and a drop that we can take, where we find an Oni Slayer great bow to go with the arrows. Right, we can also drop down this way to reduce the amount of fall damage we might take. And next to this pillar we find a rusted coin, and at the end of this bridge we find another rusted coin. Now this steady chant, well, actually I think it's called a gentle prayer. This yes, this special move of the chime is active only if you currently have the chime in your hand. So if I had it active and I grabbed my greatsword with both hands, it would be cancelled. So I need to be careful when I'm using it. And here we finally get to the boss of this area to close it out.
Yhorm, old friend. Siegward of the Knights of Katarina, have come to uphold my promise. Let the sun shine upon this Lord of Cinder.
Right, so in this fight Siegward joins us, and to defeat this foe there is a special weapon that Siegward wields, a weapon that has a weapon art specifically designed to defeat Yhorm. It is capable of bringing him down to his knees. Now, when you're fighting Yhorm, attacking his legs deals hardly any damage. Targeting arms deals a bit more damage, but the most damage straight up can be dealt by targeting his head. And this weapon, the one that Siegward has, you can also find it in this area. It's right there next to the throne. But since Siegward is here, I want to distract Yhorm, grab his attention, so that way Siegward survives the fight. And after hitting Yhorm in the head enough times, in the head or the arms, you can perform a critical hit, which is a nice way to finish the fight. So yeah, that's the second Lord of Cinder that has been brought down. And if you are wondering what was the duty, Yhorm promised that if the fire was fading, he would offer himself to save it. But when the time indeed came, he didn't. And in case that was to happen, Siegward was entrusted with the weapon that could bring Yhorm to his knees. And Siegward's duty was to defeat Yhorm.
It seems I am in your debt once again. My thanks. I could have not kept my promise without you. Now, for a final toast.
The final toast.
To your valor, and my old friend Yhorm. Long may the sun shine.
Yes, long may it shine.
Well, I'm going to have myself a little nap. The only thing to do, really, after a nice toast. You are a true friend. Best of luck with your duty.
Now, Siegward is one of the unkindled, and after an unkindled fulfills their duty, they no longer have a purpose in life, and there are two choices. Either they end it, or they go hollow. And Siegward chooses to end his life. So after we exit the boss area, he drops all of his items that we can loot. Now this item, the way to defeat Yhorm, there's a message that says only a storm can fell a great wood. And sure enough, this item over here is Storm Ruler, the same weapon that Sigvard was using. And the way to unleash its power, you need to grab it in both hands, hold down LT or L2 to imbue it with the power of the storm, and when the blade is glowing with wind like that, after returning to this stance, you can press RT, a strong attack, to fire a wave that will greatly damage Yhorm. This special property, the Storm King, only works in this area during the fight against Yhorm. Otherwise, this sword is nothing extraordinary. And in case you're wondering what Sigvard dropped, it's his sword, his shield, and his set. And the weapon, the Storm Ruler, is actually the only one you cannot get rid of. You can throw away all other weapons, but Storm Ruler is permanently stuck in your inventory as it is considered a key to defeating this boss. Right, before I close out, I would like to go back to Irithyll dungeon and get the rest of the items in here, since I finally got the jailer's key ring. So, this cell to the right, it is unlocked using the jailer's key ring, and we find a rusted gold coin in here. Now let me take out the jailer once again. Let me take out this enemy as well. Take out this jailer too. Take out this jailer as well, so that it doesn't bother me. And aside from that, I also want to take out these guys. This guy as well, so that he doesn't bonk the door anymore. The sound is annoying. And now let's finally clear this side. Let me start off by jump attacking or plunge attacking this jailer. Then I shall take out all of these with charged attacks from my sword. And after doing that, we can open this door and safely grab the item in here, which is a prisoner chief's ashes. And this second door is also opened using the same key. Now, for now, I am going to quickly switch back to the fire longsword that I was using previously, a few episodes back, and I will equip a torch as well, as there is once again some of these enemies, the ones with maggots. Right, so in this room we find a set of old sorcerer clothes. In this room there appears to be nothing, but in this jail there's another one of these maggot monsters, and this one actually drops a special item, so let's take it out with fire. And after it is defeated, we get a great magic shield. Alright, and the last place in this dungeon I have not yet walked towards is here, and there's an enemy just waiting for you to rush and get the item, so that way it can surprise attack you. The item in question was a large soul of a nameless soldier. Now let me return to the bonfire and warp back to the shrine. So back in here, and this way I will re-equip the Cathedral Knight Greatsword as well. And let's head back to Firelink Shrine. There are quite a few things to be done here. So, first one that I'm going to do is I shall place Yhorm upon his throne. Well, Yhorm's cinders. There we go. Now, second thing, I am going to go to Andre and give him the coal.
Well, Matt, 'tis good to see ye and good what needs.
So, there are a couple things here that I can do, aside from giving coal.
Words, where did you happen upon this coal? This is much too dark. I see the abyss in it. Yet a smith I remain. I won't turn down a request. But forget not, your fight is for the flame and for your fellow kin, just like mine. A cursed fate this may be, but hope remains, does it not?
So, this infusion, this coal, allows us to perform dark infusions, blood infusions, and hollow infusions. And Sage's coal, I forgot to mention, unlocks deep infusion, blessed infusion, and crystal infusion. There is one more coal that remains, and we shall get it in the next episode. But since I'm here, I would like to first reinforce my greatsword with the chunks I got. And secondly, I would like to infuse it with... yeah, what's the best option here? So, first, a raw infusion would increase my total damage by 7, but it would remove all of the scaling. So it would be worse after I put some points into attributes. A refined infusion takes away 10 damage, so it's not something that is a good idea. Now a sharp infusion is even worse, it takes away 21 damage, but a heavy infusion is going to grant 33 more damage and significantly increase the strength scaling of my weapon. And this is one I'm going to do, and it's also one I believe is the best purely physical for this type of weapon. And I also found an Estus shard. Alright.
Be careful, I don't want to see that.
So, I also found a scroll for Orbeck.
Back again, I see. Perfect timing, too. I'm in need of a diversion.
Well, I got just the thing for you.
Oh my. You've made quite the discovery. This is a scroll of the prodigious Big Hat Logan, a masterful sorcerer, long missed in Minheim. And now we have his scroll. Right here in my very hands.
Yes, now we can buy quite a few new sorceries. which require quite a lot of intelligence, which I am not going to delve into. I have my good old greatsword, and that is more than enough.
Promise to stay safe.
Right, now if we talk to Irina, it's something I could have done at the end of the Cathedral of the Deep, since that's when I got the scroll, not the scroll, the Braille Divine Tome.
Oh, Champion of Ash, welcome back. Do you wish to hear a tale? You only have to ask.
So we can give her the Deep Braille Divine Tome.
Oh, what's this? Champion of Ash, this divine tome is forbidden. These are dark tales of things that lurk deep within men. These stories would not please you. Of course, if you insist, I will read them for you. Only... oh, they frighten me so. The little creatures that nibble at me in the darkness.
So, what Irina hinted at is that she is afraid of these stories, and it's best to not purchase them from her. And in a couple episodes I'm going to show the best way to deal with this.
Have a pleasant journey, Champion of Ash. I pray for your safety.
So, since Cornyx didn't want the pyromancers, the pyromancy tomes, as he said only someone deeply afflicted and a woman should teach them, well, we've got just the candidate.
Ah, there you are. As I said, I am Karla, and am grateful to you. Now, what shall we do? The only thing that might interest you is my sorcery. Although my dark arts are a detestable sort, that wouldn't interest you, would it?
Well,
You're a wicked one, aren't you? Very well. Humans are of the dark, and you are no different. Some may avert their eyes, but the truth remains the truth. Be careful, though. Few humans are privy to this knowledge. Let it be a secret, kept between you and I.
right, so we can learn some dark sorceries from her, and we can also give her the pyromancy tomes that Cornyx wouldn't accept.
Oh, a pyromancy tome, have we? Quilana, Witch of Isolith. Well, this is a fascinating pyromancy. Very well. If this is your wish, I will unravel the thing the best I can. Besides, it will be nice to play master for once.
And I also have this one.
Oh, another pyromancy tome, have we? And one that resonates with the dark. Yes, well suited to me. I may be a heretical sorcerer, but you bring me nothing but pyromancies. Fiendish little lass, you.
Teehee. Right, so after giving the Quilana pyromancy tome, we can learn these three pyromancies, and these two are from the pyromancy tome we found near Walmir. Alright, I don't actually want to learn any of them, but thanks. It was nice talking to you.
Do stay safe.
Alright, so I have one more NPC to talk to over here.
Ah, well met, Ashen One. How may I be of service?
So I found these 2 ashes. They are for you.
Gracious, let this ash bestow nourishment. I only hope these new wares content them.
And this one.
Gracious, let this ash. I only hope the.
Alright, and we now have quite a few other things we can buy. We can buy gold pine resins infinitely. We can buy pale pine resins infinitely and some other armor sets. Right, cool, thanks. I will come back to you in a little bit, alright?
Ashen One.
And I would also like to talk to Firekeeper.
Welcome home, Ashen One. Speak thine heart's desire.
And I would like to level up a little bit.
Very well. Then touch the darkness within me. Take nourishment from these sovereignless souls.
And this time I would like to increase my strength a little bit. To increase the damage output of my weapon. I will put it to 32 points. That should be good enough. And I also want to increase my vitality a little bit to increase my maximum equip load. Alright, that should be good. And also the item that I got from the bell tower in the shrine.
Ashen One, this is much like what lies within me. Then let it find its own place within my bosom. She will understand. We are both firekeepers after all.
And what this item does is it makes Firekeeper able to heal the Dark
Forgive me,
Sigil.
sister. May the flames guide thy way.
And the way to obtain a Dark Sigil is through the NPC I kicked off the edge at the beginning of the Undead Settlement.
Farewell, Ashen One. May the flames guide thee.
Right, so we have now placed a second Lord of Cinder upon his throne, and that is going to be where I end the episode. So thank you so much for watching, and I will talk to you later. Goodbye.